Hello folks, I'm at Ocean BMW Plymouth today, and today I'm riding the BMW R1250RS. Okay, so sat on it, I've got my feet firmly on the floor. You can feel it's quite a weighty engine and weighty bike. It stands in a nice place, so I can just kick it up lovely. Oh, I wish they made more like that really. It's a keyless ride, so basically you push the button there and start her up. It's got that old boxer twist to it when you start it up. God, wow, this is nice and smooth, man. This is really smooth. Okay, so you got your gear indicator there, and obviously I got my revs on that stunning TFT screen. Alright, let's make a move. It's funny how you can get on bikes and within seconds you know if you're going to like it or not. This thing I'm going to absolutely love. I've only ridden about 10 metres. It's just this is just going to be a really good one for me, this one. I think I'm going to enjoy this. As you remember, last time I rode a bike like this, it was the with the boxer engine, it was the R9T GS. Compared to that one, this is much smoother actually. The fueling and the response on the throttle is really soft and forgiving. I'm sure it won't be like that when I open it up though. Brakes are absolutely brilliant. You know what, this thing is an absolute dream, it really is. When you get used to how this thing steers, it's absolutely sublime. You just point it in one direction and it just totally flows into place. Okay, so as you can see, the mirrors, I'm sure, shows up on the camera just at the right height. You literally just need to flick your eyes over to the right or the left and you've got a full view of what you need to look at. Such a impressive bike, this. This slice down here. Of course, you're very conscious that you've got the two boxer engines beneath you, but if the mirrors go through, then the boxer will too, so it's always a good governing benchmark. Right, here we go. Okay, second gear. Oh, that'll do. That's all you can do. Goes like a bloody rocket. It's got the quick shifter on this one as well. And put the screen up. It's better. Yeah, so with the screen up, it's in its upright position at the moment. And the wind's just hitting the top of my head. It's absolutely calm everywhere else though. Around my body, it's just literally just hitting the top vents of my helmet. The seat is one of those seats which is just all day long comfortable. So we're in 6th gear now, as you can probably see that well enough anyway. We're about 3,800 revs. So if I just open it out in 6th gear now, yeah, it flies. So to set the cruise control, just push it to the side like so. Just give that a little flick there, and it's going to stay at 62. It's one of my favourite things about bikes actually, is it having cruise control. the gear lever feels really positive. You kind of push it into gear rather than snick it into gear. The boxer engine's certainly keeping my feet warm. For doing a U-turn, it's lovely. Fills you with confidence. You don't feel like it's going to just fall out of control. It just stays upright, and you can use the weight of the boxer engine just to balance you in an upright position quite easily. Really is a stunning machine for doing this sort of work. Everything's so tight as well, BMW tight. Oozes quality. Oozes refinement. Oozes character. That's the three top things that you want really out of a motorcycle. You could do a lot of miles on this in a day. So comfortable, and like I say, it's just, you just know that the power is there all the time. If you demand it, it will give it to you straight away, no questions. It's just there. And add the ShiftCam into that equation, it's even better again. God, there's cameras everywhere here. But even at slow speed, you know, there's no jerkiness. It's ever so smooth. The fueling is absolutely spot on. What a beautiful day for this. It's one of those bikes that when you're riding on it, you just feel the luckiest person alive. It's got a heck of a good feel to it. You could have all the money in the world, but owning something like this would be, well, you'd trade that any day. If you had all the money in the world, then I'd certainly have this bike, that's for sure. On the way onto the dual carriageway, I did open her up. I didn't film it for some reason. I didn't film that part, but I opened it up, and a lot of people say that you can't sense the ShiftCam technology, but to be honest with you, I did feel a difference when it hit about 6,000, I would say. Well, no, about 5,000 actually. There was, you know, it's just suddenly just had a new lease of life. Something happened to it, and the engine, you know, really came alive. It was yeah, it just sort of really opened up. So that's a good way to put it. That quick shifter is easy to use. Very smooth indeed. So lucky to try this thing because it's only been out for about a week now, and they're not really fully launched yet. So I'm probably one of the first people to ride this actual bike actually. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a good one for the channel because like I say, it's just totally fresh, and it's a heck of a bike. This thing will do all you want it to do. Anything you want to do with a motorbike, this thing will do. Going to the shops or crossing continents, this is a very good choice of bike. I've been on the bike for about half an hour now, and I'm still as comfortable. I haven't moved in the seat to get comfortable. I'm just exactly as I was when I got on the bike. Very comfortable. I think this sort of bike would suit a sportier rider, somebody who wants to tour. To be honest with you, even as a first bike, it's probably not a bad option. It's not aggressive, like I say. It will be aggressive if you ask it to be, and it will push on quite quickly, but it's a nice bike to ride steady. General commuting or doing all that. You know, for the A roads, it's oops. And for the A roads, it's really good. That's embarrassing. For the A roads, it's good as well. It's one of those bikes, to be honest, I'm kind of thinking it's almost perfect. When you put the front brake on, it doesn't really dive too much. It hasn't got the telelever suspension and all that the GS has, but it holds you in quite firm. The whole suspension setup is nice, actually. It's again, it's one of those rides which I've done. I've gone over bumps, but it's just been non-eventful. You know, it hasn't sort of shaken me around or done any of that. Okay then, folks, this is the walk round of the new BMW R1250RS. It's an air-cooled flat twin engine with the ShiftCam technology that BMW have brought out recently. It produces 1254cc, and the max output is 136 HP at 7,750 RPM. Torque wise, we're looking at 143 Newton meters at 6,250 RPM. It's got a 6-speed box, and the brakes on here are 4-piston radial calipers, and we've got 320mm on the front and a single disc double piston on the back of 276mm. It's quite a heavy bike. I'm just looking at the stats here and I'm quite surprised actually. It's 243 kilograms, but it certainly doesn't feel 243 kilograms. It feels very light to ride actually. It just feels like a, I don't know, a normal litre bike really. Seat height is 820mm. Again, that seems quite high, but in fact when I'm sat on it, it doesn't feel like it's that high at all actually. I think if you're a shorter rider, then you should be fine on this, you know. So don't rule it out because it's 820mm. It's you should be fine on it, to be honest with you. I've had no problems. I'm 5'8", I've got a 30-inch inside leg. Yeah, it's pretty good. Standard equipment, we've got ABS, of course, dynamic brake lights, a power socket, always handy, adjustable windscreen, which is basically just lifts up and down. I've got it in the upright position now, and you just pop it up and down like that via hand. It does make a difference. It might only be a little bit there, but if you want to go around town and sort of feel like you're out in the elements, then just leave it in the lower position. Or when you're on the dual carriageway, just put it in the upright position, and it sort of takes the air over your head really. It does quite a good job. It's got a TFT display, which is absolutely amazing. Really nice to look at and gives you all the information that you need to know and nothing that you don't need to know for a change. That's quite nice. We've got Brembo brakes front and back with braided hoses. We've got shaft drive. Again, that's just really great, isn't it? That you don't have to think about chain maintenance and all the rest of it. This is the exclusive model, which we've got the quick shifter and a like. It's an absolute dream to ride. It really is. It's fantastic. It's a bike I'd certainly like to have. It's probably one of my top 5 bikes now actually. To look at, I'm sure you agree, she is an absolute stunner. There's no doubt about that. I mean, to own something like this, open up the garage door and this be sat inside, I think you spend the first 5 minutes just looking at it. It's absolutely a beautiful bike to look at. It's got quite a shout out loud chrome exhaust here, which is quite cool. It sounds quite good. It's not too throaty, but it's just right really. Pillion comfort. We've got the rubber pegs on the back there, which would be nice for them. Takes the vibrations away, not that there is many with this bike anyway. And quite a nice thick padded seat here as well, which should be pretty damn comfortable, I would say. Okay, so going over to control gear. Right, this is a bit where I'm a little bit lacking on knowledge, so just bear with me. We got the BMW SOS button here, so basically if you fall off, then it's got some sort of angle trigger which will send a message to BMW headquarters wherever you may be in the world, and it will tell, you know, unless you get in contact with them to tell them you're okay, then it will contact the emergency services. Again, it's one of those immensely clever things. This one also has heated grips, the mode selector, and this is start and stop. Bearing in mind that, you know, it's the keyless ignition, so you don't need to put a key in. I'll explain that in a minute. We have the cruise control, hazards. That's the something, I can't remember what it was now, sorry. Menu up and down. You've also got the twisty wheelie, which is quite nice, BMW special. Horn and indicators. ABS on and off, which I guess just controls the rear, and also the suspension settings, which can go up and down. Okay, so let's start her up a minute. Lovely, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. As with all these BMW Boxer engines, unless you've been on one, then you really kind of need to experience it, really. I mean, I get on with this Boxer engine more than the R9 that I went on. It just kind of suits me a bit more, really, a bit more forgiving, and it's quite a lot smoother actually as well. But it does sound great. I'm just going to do a quick exhaust test here. See it shoving around, moving around. It's yeah, it's quite a nice sounding machine. Sounds great. Yeah, so as a tourer it would work well. As a popping down the shops it would also work well. It's just a good all-round motorcycle. Honest, extremely well engineered. Everything about it just breathes quality and thoughtfulness. That might be sound a bit strange, but you can tell that they've really thought about this bike. They've kind of well, they just get better all the time, don't they? I'm a little bit iffy about the keyless ride. I suspect that's just me being an old fuddy-duddy and not used to it really. I'm sure I get used to it. I can always find something wrong with bikes. There's always something in there, but I cannot find anything wrong with this at the moment. I mean, even the stand is good. You know, it's in such a nice position when you lift it up. I mean, for example, I'll show you now actually. Let's get on. Yeah, so the stand, so that's my seating position, is just about here. I'm hoping that's going to show up. Very, very comfortable, just right. My knees are bent at a nice angle, but the stand, I mean, it's never known a stand like it. It's lovely. You know, it's just there. You don't have to fight around searching for it. Just find it, push it down, you push it forward in front of you. This does also have the Gear Shift Assist Pro and Riding Mode Pro. It's got the GPS all set up there, ready to go. This particular one hasn't got it at the moment, but it is possible to get it. It's got the keyless ride and the dynamic ESA. To be honest with you, it's so involved in what this bike gets. I mean, you know, people say that BMWs are pricey and things, but they're not actually. You're getting twice the bike, you know, sometimes with the amount of the spec on these things is just astronomical, you know, what you get with it. There's so much work in behind the scenes when you're riding these sort of bikes. It's quite inspiring, really. Really impressive. But I would highly advise you go down and try one. This very bike is available for demo if you want to have a go on this one, and at Plymouth Ocean BMW. But yeah, it's a real beauty. One of my subscribers actually, Andrew Bristow, this will probably suit him, I reckon. Hi to his mum and dad as well. They watch me quite a lot, I know that much, which is nice. Imagine that, the whole family sat in front of the telly watching Exeter Rider. Appreciate it, thank you very much. But yes, Andy, this I reckon this is up your street, mate. You'd like this. Yeah, if you're on the market for something, you know, a big sort of 1000cc bike, then give this 1250 a look at, because it's a wonderful machine. And so many different levels, really. It's one of those bikes that I suppose you could describe it, that it seems to me to do everything really well. You know, whether it's touring or whatever, you know, it's just a do everything well bike. But it's not in a boring way. Some bikes are like that, aren't they, where they're good at everything but they're a little bit boring. But this thing is it's just a really nice bike. I just want to say thank you to Ocean BMW in Plymouth. Having this bike has been a real, you know, it's just been brilliant. Thank you very much for that. It's a real stunning piece of machinery. So if you want to have a ride on this bike, then it is available as a demo at Ocean BMW in Plymouth. They're very helpful, unpushy bunch down there. I would highly advise that if you're on the market or thinking of getting an e-bike, sort of 800cc or above, then give one of these a try, because they're absolutely stonking pieces of kit. It is a beautiful bike to look at and to ride. It's just got everything that you could ever want. So thanks for that, and thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe, it helps me a huge amount, and it keeps sort of the channel alive and me being able to sort of keep doing these reviews. I'm growing at about 150 subscribers a month at the moment, which is pretty good. In fact, it was at one point it was 200. So but thank you for all of your likes and your subscription, and I've got my regular commenters now as well. I won't name any names, it just goes on and on, but thank you very much everyone for your support.